Alright, what up? So we haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks, but I've still been playing. Um, I got a couple replays I want to show. Some ranked ones, some qualifier ones. So this first one was, I think it was against, Brand. So it's a branded mirror match. Yeah, it's the branded mirror. We can speed this up a little. So this guy does the Kakatori online. I don't really mess so much with the cock line. I feel like it's better to end on a mirror jig. This guy doesn't, but he sets up a pretty good board. We notice he's on 50, so you know you always want to banish their Albaz fusions so they don't get that end phase effect. So we know he has, I think that was Retribution and then a mystery set. We can assume it's FNV. And then he drops the Max C on us on top of his board. Very annoying. So we fuse into our Dogma. I think our game plan after the Max C was to OTK. Luckily we had a pretty good hand to play into this board. So we go to Warlord, I think. So before this, I was on Star Source, but this is the only game I have Warlord in. No, he hits us with the surprise branded sword. It's like, it comes up every once in a while, but it didn't work out for him. We had enough damage. So that was against Branded plus a Max C. We were able to push through the board. It just goes to show, like, the Branded on board can be torn up if you know how to do it. Okay. This one's against Elfnote. I don't like playing against Elfnote. So this game here, as you can see, I'm running the Kuri. No one runs this in Branded. But the whole idea behind this is it's a fairy, and we have 3 Albert, 2 Kuri, and 1 Tragedy. So the theory behind that is you have Shadal Construct, it's a fairy, you draw high spirits, that's a free Albaz right there, which whatever fairy you have. I really like the tech. Andres Torres is known to run that. I like it. No one runs the Kuri though, like I said. It's one of my favorite cards actually. As you can see, I have a royal of it. But its effect comes up a lot, believe it or not. It's like a super kaiju. Tributes whatever monsters they've activated this turn, so. But yeah, this guy sets up a pretty nasty board. We baited his Baron already. Now he has Light and Dark Chaos Angel. And then he goes into Ecclesia. Fast forward a little bit. And then he hits with the Psy Frame Lord. So he's gonna rip our card. Okay, so we draw into FNV, want to just get rid of that trap because it's a negate. So he negates our fallen in the virtuous. You don't want to lose that trap as an Elfnote player. So now he goes into the Regina to rip another card from our hand. Luckily, they hit the Lubellion, so that was perfect. So he wants to go into Albaz here to fuse with whatever we summon. So knowing that, we go into Albalonatus, because Albalonatus can't be used as fusion material. And now there comes the Kuri effect, and I forgot this Chaos Angel can't be destroyed. Nothing can. So we gotta rely on our end phase. Luckily, so this is a hidden effect. You could snatch up one of their monsters. So we got the Baron. And this is when we use the Baron. We have to. See, we would have lost that game if Kurikara was banished, I think. That called by would have been devastating for us. So, we summon Ecclesia. We know our Albaz is banished for now, but we're gonna get him back. I know this guy's extremely low on time, too. He had a very long turn 1. That's what happens when you play Synchro Slop with Elfnote. We only activated this to clear some space in case we needed it. But we have nothing. And you know he's low on time when he doesn't even trigger Albaz. He's probably just like panicking a bit. Trying to put up as much damage as he possibly can. That was another misplay. He just gave us our Titanic Clad back. So now he goes battle, and then this is what I mean about Elfnote players. It's just that slop, man. They can't finish once a time limit. But I think we would have had the game regardless of the time limit or not. So this is a really good game against Orcust. It goes up to 6 turns, so anything after turn 2 is the Yu-Gi-Oh match in my opinion. I really hate how games are over so quickly. And against Orcust, Fool was a great draw, but he ends up having the max C for it. So we don't have any super poly targets, like generic ones. So we just have Aluber plus super poly to go into our Quertus. So he sets up a nice, he goes for Orcust combo. Now the thing about Orcust is their weakness is their field spell. You basically just pop it and they can't do anything. So what they do to play around that is normally they want to have what is it? This guy in the grave for extra disruption, but with all the like FNV and MST going around, they just keep it on the field, and that save if he has 2 materials. His cards can be destroyed by card effects twice in a turn. So that's why they want to keep that on the field. Drew that's a bad draw. Could have negated the thing with Crescendo, but chose not to. So he wants to have a link as soon as possible. So he didn't negate Branded Fusion. I don't know why he did that. Luckily here we sent the kid to chain block the Albion. So now we have our Mirror Jade. Even if he negates Mirror Jade and banishes him, we still have something to send. Right here we're forced to activate because we don't know what he's gonna send to the graveyard. So now Mirror Jade and Phase Effect is gonna be useless as long as this guy's up. Now we get our Querce's floating effects. He had Droplet. That was the mystery set he had. So we pretty much ended on nothing on our board, but then Phase should be good. And he pops my Albalinatus. We go for a grass here, hoping we could mill something good, but you'll see we don't mill very well. So we do our end phase thing. Like I said, Mirror Jade doesn't do nothing to that. We had a Mercurier because our plan here was with Albion, we had Branded in red. So with banishing the Mercurier, we get an additional search. I think here we go into Dogma Dragon with the Lubellion. And then with the Mercurier, we search the Golden Sword Soul. Golden Sword Soul will save you in a pinch. I don't know if you forgot it's unaffected, but this was an intense match. We were both against the timer here. So we pretty much just have a done. And he does correct play. He wants to banish our only Ecclesia in the grave. So now we just have a 3000k beater on the board. And then he snatches it from us. It's like not, he knows we have Golden Sword Soul. Golden Sword Soul is going to negate an attack, and then it also provides us with one body. So I think he doesn't even attack. He doesn't even go for an attack because he's probably really low on time. So we send the Grand. I think we try to get our Albaz back with the Branded Sword. This is the good thing about running a 60 card build, is you can run every brick. And it just increases your ceiling by a lot. I understand the 40 card build is probably a bit better, but it's not as fun in my opinion. Sent the Ecclesia Synchro so we can spin one of his cards back. He doesn't have anything worth stealing. He wants to keep the Orcust Crescendo in his hand for next turn. So we go Thrust for Talons. I think we just go for the draw too, to hope we draw into something good, but we don't really draw into anything too good. So we go Albion, and then Albion into Mirror Jade. That's crazy. We have 30 cards in the grave, 37. There goes the Goldie's secret effect. That's why I didn't even summon the Cartesia, because I knew we could just summon her off of him. And I didn't attack, because I was also low on time. We immediately trigger the Mirror Jade just to force some interaction. And, you know, get rid of his Stingir suit. Now, our board, we never die here. We're pretty solid. We'll survive till the next turn, and then hopefully win from there. So he goes into this access code talker. So the reason we really wanted to have Albaz and Cartesi on board is so we can go first star source. And that's what we do. So we can pop his access code and his babble. So this guy's sitting on nothing. He's gonna sit on an unaffected dogma. And earlier we shuffled our Titanic Clad. That's our out for the 3500 beater right there. We have nothing else to add, so we just added a high spirits, I think. Yeah, all 3 FNBs are gone. So, the Cartesia, he doesn't want us to fuse, but luckily we had Super Poly. So we can make our Titanic Clad. Now we're bigger than the Dogma. And we break his board, and that's game. This is a really fun match. This guy played well. We both did our best, but we took the W in the end. That was probably the best game I had recorded this time. I think this is against Maliss. Yeah, Maliss. Luckily we drew a 4. But Maliss plays pretty good against 4. Or into 4. They can set up a pretty decent board. And this guy's gonna draw like a million cards, so their non-engine is very, very strong. All we have is a Magnemite. And a Magnemite will grab a White Dragon. A lot of times you might think this looks like a bad hand a bit, but if it wasn't for the mag, this would be a bad hand. So we didn't even draw that great. We didn't want to banish a Maliss name because then his Cryptor's live, but he had his own mag. And he gets an additional Baldric, which is also good against Branded. We set the Dogma because we have 2. And he's more expendable in my opinion. Just gonna recurve our White Dragon. We don't really care though. We got a bunch of dragons on the field, so we go into Albulinatus. Now our Branded and red is live. So we go into Rebellion. Also get the Tragedy trigger. This is why I like Tragedy. It's a Heartbreaker, Garnet, whatever you want to call it, but it can come up in situations like this. And then we also get our Mirror Jade. I kept the Lubellion because I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to end the game here or not. Just in case we can have an extra big body on the board. But game was over. We had Call of Vibe. We aura diffed him though. Royal Branded Fusion, Royal Altar, Called by the Grave. This guy's donezo. So that was against Maliss. Now we got two more. This one, I believe. I don't remember what this one was. So we're going first. I think it's against, I don't know, I just know they max CS or something. So we go for the Cardi first, in case they chain 4, we can chain Cartesia, and then we give it Graham. We're gonna give him a couple draws just to set up something of a board. I think we go into Lubellion, sending Albion, sending Kit, so Kit can summon back our Albaz. It's a bit of a risky play, because if you leave Albaz on the board, if you're in the mirror match and they have a super poly, they can super poly away your whole board for a Dogma. But wait, I didn't even do that. Okay, so why didn't I do that? Okay, that's right. So we wanted a Cardi on the field, now we get our Albaz on the field too, with the sword. We could have contact fused into Albalonatus, but I wanted to keep him on there just in case. We didn't have another real good send since we have Rinbrum up, so we just added another Albaz to our hand, just in case. It's Rahu, so it's Dracotail Branded, annoying. That's a one of, so we're gonna negate that. So we summon a Mirror Jade, and he can fuse too, but he knows we'll just banish his Albaz away. So he didn't even trigger Albaz, but he's got Malulu. So whatever Malulu summons is gonna get yeeted off the board. This guy misplayed here though. I think he ends up like using both of his effects on my Rinbrum, which is a big misplay. I don't know why he chose to negate and destroy it, but so yeah, he messed up big time because as soon as he popped the Rinbrum, like Rinbrum can just revive itself, and we want to do that just as he activates Bradley Fusion. This guy had a crazy hand too, though. So he's gonna try to go into a Rebellion, which we're gonna negate, and then spin back. But he chains by mana, so he gets to go to the grave. And then whatever 5 mana summons is gonna get spin back, so he could have played this better, but we just outplayed him, I guess. So negate, spin, and spin. Good job, sir. Rage quit. And then we have one more. This one was against VSK9. It's a bit of a simplified game. I don't think we draw very well. Yeah, so we only have one play, and he chains Dimensional Shifter. So we chain Fallen Virtuous so we can at least have something in the grave. But it's useless. Didn't even discard the 4. It's against Vanquish Soul, like I said. And he had the Ash for our type class. Very unfortunate. So this dimension shifter was a pretty bad move for him regardless. It messed us up big time, but it also messes him up pretty big. So now he's down a Holly suit. Yeah, it's a Jokel. You can't even activate Forbidden Droplet because of the dimensional shifter. So we're in a pretty rough spot. We're gonna be on top deck basically. And then he decides to go into a Zeus. And he wipes the whole board. He wipes his side too, which I don't know why he did that, but. So we're basically gonna be praying that we topped up something good. And he still has plays, of course, he just keeps playing. Razin, then his Razin adds a Caesar. So this is what I mean, look how many monsters he's banished already. That's pretty bad though against Branded. I don't know if you want to have a Caesar. So what if I drew Albaz? But Aliber's way better draw. This was heart of the cards moment. So we're going to Albion, and then Albion straight into a Mirror Jade. It's our best play. So now Caesar's unaffected. There's no point in banishing the Zeus, it's not gonna do much, but crash our Mirror Jade. And we also crash our Albion, so we can get his effect. He summons Lupus, but he doesn't go into anything. I don't know why, but probably because of the wipe, it was gonna happen regardless. But that was a satisfying way. Wow. Get up Fallen in the Virtuous, get rid of his field spell. And another FNV to revive our Mirror Jade. Pretty much in a winning position unless he drew like a really good card, but just a Noroi. Now you want to banish the Jokel. It's too slow. Jokel's a good card, but he's slow. You have to trigger his effect. Now the classic Typhon L. I fucking hate that card. I think it's... Summon him, you know you lost. More than likely lost. And he surrenders, he knows it's over. But that's it for the replays. I could show off the deck list I use. So, I wouldn't say this is the most optimal deck list, but it's my deck list, I like it. I like the fact that my whole deck is basically a high spirits target. So I had this up at 2 before, I think it was at 2, and I had 1 less Serenir. But I went back to just the 1 of. So you can see the only card that's not a high spirits target is the Max C. I'm only running Max C and then 3-4 as my hand traps, and if you want to count these as a hand trap too. But yeah, the Kuri, it's pretty fucking sick when it comes up. And obviously it helps that it's a high spirits bridge to go and grab you your white Albaz. Visions, we have like 16, 17 quick play spells. So it's live oftentimes. Like, we can do a couple. See, we drew all quick effect spells and draw 2, discard 1. Okay, not bad. Good hand. Good. So it's pretty good. Whenever you draw vision, you usually always have a discard for it. Comes up a lot, honestly. I recommend that package. But MST, a lot of people don't run the one of MST, but I think it comes up. You can you can just keep reusing it. If you have visions, you just grab from the grave, and there's a lot of spells, a lot of back row you want to pop. You can replace this, I guess, if you wanted to, with like harpies or Featherstorm for back row removal. But I prefer getting instant. You can't. This is not always live, you know. It's only good going second, and I'm not running fusion duplication, so that's why I choose to run just the one MST. I'm not the biggest fan of Nadir, but it's a good starter. It's not my favorite, but it's a good starter nonetheless. And it's pretty much it for the deck. The only thing, there's another version of 60 that I like to play too. And it's with more Bestials and Branded Loss. So I just added like an extra Saren here, and then Rebellion, and then Branded Loss. And then I got rid of the Visions package and the Kuri package, or the Fairy, High Spirit stuff. And I just went for more Bore Load. I like having Sanctifier. A lot of people don't like running him. They think it's unnecessary. I like having him as just like a max C play. I guess if they max C you, you know, you just make a Sanctifier, send with the golden sword, so you can't target Sanctifiers, so it's pretty good. You get a free Mirror Jade typically off of it. But this is my preferred list right now. It's very fun. Like I said, it's not the best, but I think this is an extremely fun list. And whenever you do resolve Kurikara's effect, like it just completely changes the tide of the game in your favor. But yeah, that's the list. Hopefully we can get some more uploads soon. Try not to slack as much with the uploads. But yeah, that's it for the video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.